IVC, Dale again, video number 4. I'm losing track already and I've only done 3 or 4 videos. So continuing with my vinyl purchases in 2020. Next up is this album, Coastal County, self-titled album. This is a 2019 release that I bought new recently on the back of it. It'd been getting some fairly good reviews, and I'd seen it a number of times in different blogs and press. I hadn't seen it on the vinyl community, I don't think, but kind of investigated it online, liked what I heard at the time, which it's I guess a modern interpretation of a library, very funky, soulful library album, kind of I guess Daptone light, if you're familiar with the sort of Daptone type instrumentation, bit more library type Daptone. Sorry, that's probably a really bad description, but yeah, really good album. Yet to really digest it. I've listened to it a few times, but I need to go back to it. So I just thought, yeah, it's a good interpretation, a good modern interpretation of a traditional kind of library record, so which is of interest to me. So yeah, pick that up. Next is this. This is the debut album by the Greg Foat Group, Jazzman Records release. Jazzman do some great releases. I really don't keep up with them enough. I always seem to miss out. They recently did a reissue set of the Don Rendell, Ian Carr albums from the 60s, which I missed out on the box set, but managed to pick up all the individual releases. So I really need to keep on top of what Jazzman do. But anyway, this is from a few years ago, 2011. Greg Foat. So Greg Foat, kind of a bit following on from the previous album, actually. His style of him and the people who he collaborates with, I think he's a keyboardist, jazz keyboardist, but very much in that kind of library record vein of jazz. In fact, I haven't got it here, but there's a really good film which I have on DVD called The Library Music. I'll maybe show it next time if I remember to bring it up. It's downstairs at the moment. That he's featured on that. So again, a tangent about this. So I got this where I went to Brighton earlier in the year with my wife. We stayed over. We were going to see the comedian Stuart Lee, who was performing in Brighton. So we made a kind of a long sort of, well, a few days break of it, and got there in time before the gig to for me to go off and do a bit of record digging, and my wife to do a bit of wandering around the lanes in Brighton, if you're familiar with Brighton, looking at the kind of shops there. And I must confess, and this is where a bit of a tangent, I was really disappointed. I think I went to 5 shops, and spent 4 or 5 hours, and this is the only record I came up with, and I could get this record without having to go to a record shop. So I just determined to buy something, and I got this, and that's been a theme for me probably for over the last year. I think last year I went to a dozen record shops, some repeatedly, and I think I bought 2 records from record shops. I don't know whether I have much more success at record fairs, and as I mentioned in my first video, Clive, my dealer, who gets me my fix, I normally can guarantee to get 1 or 2 records every record fair from Clive, rather than be disappointed because there aren't really record shops very near me. There's one in my town, which I'll talk about in a later video, but there aren't many record shops around. They're all pretty much an hour's trek if I'm gonna go to. Apologise in the background if you can hear the vacuum cleaner. We're all on lockdown here, and my daughter, my 21-year-old daughter, who works in retail and therefore isn't working at the moment, is cleaning the house at the moment. So I'm not going to stop her doing that. That is a rarity. Anyone who's got a 21-year-old daughter, so she must be desperate and bored. So where was I? Greg Folk Group. Brilliant. This is a brilliant library jazz record by a keyboardist. So I was really happy to pick this up. I've known it digitally for a long time, and I might get some more by this artist. I've lost my thread now. So next is this. It's a new release. Is it a 20? Yeah, it's new 2020 release by an artist called Gil Landry. So I stumbled across this, I think from a Record Collector magazine review, perhaps, or certainly a magazine review. So Skeleton at the Banquet is the name of the album. It's an American artist, sort of acoustic Americana folk, which I like. I mean, I like UK folk and UK folk rock a lot, but I like this as well. This is, and I like dark. Obviously, I like dark albums, and this is dark. So if you think, and this is probably a bad analogy, but if you think Mickey Newbury, you know, that kind of thing, then you're not far off, or maybe you are. I can't remember actually. I'll probably need to listen to it again. But really good, and again, I'm happy with my new releases this year. I seem to be doing really well. Really happy with everything I'm buying. So this is a good album. Next, this is going to be a bit of a saga. So this album. So this is a first time re-released album that has been shown a number of times on the vinyl community. So Bo, forget his channel, Bo from the Pacific Northwest, as he likes to say, has shown it, and Vinyl Richie has certainly shown it, and that's peaked my, so I think they both showed it quite close together actually, a few years ago, which piqued my interest. I listened to it on YouTube, and fell in love with it, and then had it on my eBay watching to try and see if it had come up in the UK. It came up once and I lost out on the auction. It went up to about £80, and I lost out on that. I wasn't prepared to pay it, or so I thought at the time. But still obsessed by it. So much so I managed to secure a copy. I think this is Discogs from Canada. It's a, you won't be able to see it because it's still in the shrink. It's a promo. It's a promo original press on dot from Canada. I got it for a good price on Discogs, but then, you know, and I'm an experienced record buyer, so I shouldn't be making these mistakes. But forgot about the shipping and the customs, so it ended up costing me more than the £80 one I lost out on. But it's a pristine copy. The record is great, not perfect but great. So I also bought it on CD, and CDs are fairly hard to get hold of as well, so I think I got this from Germany as well. And then I still had it in my eBay searches, and it came up in the UK, another copy. This is another copy. I'll just pick the same one up again. Another copy in great condition I got for £48. So again, I kicked myself a bit that I couldn't have waited another 6 months or so. This is my playing copy now. This is absolutely immaculate. So I need to decide. But being the vinyl addicts that we are, I found out it was being reissued, so I bought it again, a reissue. Don't know why, but I did, just to maybe hear if they had mastered it from the tapes as well as the original. But why would I want to do that? I don't know, but it's the sorts of things we do as record collectors. So I have another copy of it now. So I think I'll say I'm done with this album now. But yeah, it's absolutely. So what is it? If you don't know, sorry. It's folky, psych singer songwriter with some kind of eerie. That's probably too strong a word. Lyrics. It's the only album that I think she did for years and years and years, and I think she did another one in the 2000s or something like that. And Nancy Priddy is the mother of Christina Applegate, the actress, but I don't really know Christina Applegate's work. I just know that from kind of looking her up. So, but yeah, kind of this replicates the original album. It's on. Well, it says Geffen Universal Music, but it's not on. It's on Modern Harmonic label, I think. Did Modern Harmonic do sort of like bespoke releases? Where is that one where you vote about from 3 which one they're going to release? I can't remember. I think it might be, but I might be talking rubbish. Where are we? Oh, we're at 10.5 minutes. So I'll stop rambling at that point and move on to the next one in a minute. Thanks. Bye.